Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Board of Commission, Kentucky, City Hall, December 6, 2022 at 4:30. We'll start with the invocation and pledge allegiance led by our Commissioner Sue Perigin.
Thank you very much. We have a special treat tonight. We have Jeremy Wade. Sorry about that. Thank you. Jeremy is group's pastor at Living Hope Baptist Church, right behind my yard, so we're there quite often. And I wanted to have Jeremy come down and say a few words first about his experience as we're leading up to the anniversary of this awful tornado disaster. I would be remiss in not recognizing our faith-based community and everything that our faith-based community across this entire county and beyond, probably the nation, came together in aid, and in particular, Living Hope Baptist Church was front and center. And so if you don't mind, describe that a little bit, and then lead us in a prayer.
I'm happy to do that. So as she introduced, my name is Jeremy Wade. I'm the group's pastor at Living Hope, and just played a small part in terms of the volunteer effort that we helped kind of coordinate about a year ago. And, you know, reflecting back over the last year, especially during that 2 months, I know that I was personally involved. You know, I learned a lot about myself. I think if we were to go around the room, we probably learned a lot about ourselves during those months dealing with the tornadoes. But more importantly, I learned a lot about this city. You know, I recall there's a story. I'm sure we're all familiar with it in Luke chapter 10, the story of the Good Samaritan. And we see in that story this picture of God's indiscriminate love and how he uses us and has called us to love one another. And I think back over those months of seeing our community really rally together. They were indiscriminate. They did not look at religion, race, creed, politics. It was all set aside. And we knew what needed to be done. We made the sacrifices necessary, right, to care and to love for our fellow neighbors. The relief efforts themselves, I mean, there were thousands, around 4,000 volunteers. It represented close to 16,000 man-hours of work. And again, just, I know for us, speak on behalf of Living Hope and all of our faith community, we were more than happy to step in and to be available, to be Christ's love to our community when it needed it the most. So we're thankful for that opportunity. We stand ready in the future as well. So, but let's bow our heads and let's go to God in prayer. Yes, please stand. And let's bow our heads. Well, dear Heavenly Father, as we think back over the last year, the way that you have cared for us, the way that you have loved us, the way that you have expressed your love through us, Father, we're grateful for that. We're grateful too for your provision in our lives, for our community, the ways that you have provided for our physical needs, the ways that you have provided for our emotional needs, our mental needs. And as we enter into this Christmas season, very mindful how you have provided for our spiritual needs. You have sent your son, Jesus, God in the flesh, Emmanuel, to live, who died, who conquered death, so that we could have a relationship with you, our Father. And so that we have this hope, too, to help sustain us, that gives us joy and peace through all of life's trials and circumstances. And we thank you for that. And I pray for the men and women in this room as you are stewards of this city, that you would give them wisdom, that you would give them discernment and how best to lead and to love. And more importantly, that you would, in their lives, give them a sense of your love. Help them experience the love of Christ so that they might in turn know best, really, how best to care and to love for this community. Father, we ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Sue. Thank you, Jeremy. Living Hope was incredible. What happened, it was many churches, but if you remember, Living Hope was the one that ran the volunteer center at the old mall. I'll never forget Jeff Meisel saying this is an idea that sprouted and came up, and We were all unanimously in agreement that we needed help. And so the city could not do it by ourselves, and we didn't. And it was amazing to watch the miracles happen across our community, and we're still going to be unpacking those miracles for the rest of our lives. Incredible. All right, well, let's begin with our roll call.
Commissioner Perigin.
Here.
Commissioner Bailey.
Here.
Commissioner Beasley Brown.
Here.
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Mayor Alcott.
Here. All right, Mr. Meisel, do you have any comments at this time?
I've actually got several, Mayor, if you'll give me just a few minutes. First of all, everyone knows the events that occurred this past weekend, and I would like to thank our Bowling Green Police Department, our Warren County Sheriff's Office, and all our partner agencies for the great job they did this weekend of managing everything going on. And I just want to congratulate you all for a good job well done. Secondly, I'd like to ask Aaron Holsey to come up to make just a brief comment. Aaron?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. Tiger, can you step up here for just a minute? I know that this is a moment that sometimes might be saved for department head level, but I just want to take a moment to publicly recognize Tiger Tooley. Tiger Killen. Tiger has been a staple in the city for the last 25 years. And there is not anyone who's been hired in the last decade that has not interacted with Tiger. Our city is a better city because of the people that she hired, because of her leadership. As a new department head, I'm so grateful. We are all indebted to the service to our city that you have provided. And I wish you nothing but blessings and good luck as you continue this next wonderful, wonderful journey of your life in New Jersey with your husband. And I just want to publicly thank her for all that she's done. So.
Just a reminder that anyone wanting to make public comments at the end of the regular session needs to sign up on the board in the back. And then finally, Mayor, this might be hard. On November 17th, we lost our former city manager, Charles William Coates, known as Chuck to many of us. Chuck was city manager for 28 years, 1977 to 2005. Some of us in the room did not get the privilege to work under him or work with him, but he was city manager for 28 years, which I cannot fathom, serving as city manager for 28 years. It speaks for itself. But Chuck mentored three assistants to the city managers who went on to be city managers. It's like he had his own coaching tree, and he mentored many others, department heads, and on down. He was the founder of Team Bowling Green and many other programs that we did here at the city. He's basically the founder of the organizational structure that we operate under today, the departmental structure that provides a more efficient method to serving our citizens and the public. So I would like to ask that we have a moment of silence and we all stand for Mr. Charles William Coates, Chuck. Lord God, we thank you for the life of Chuck Coates and the decades of service that he provided to our city, the friendship, mentorship, all the relationships that we had with Chuck. We ask that you be with his family and loved ones as they go through these coming months that will be tough. And we just thank you and praise you for allowing us to have the years with Mr. Coates, Chuck. In your name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Mr. Meisel. Tiger, we're going to miss you. You've been a force icon for our community in hiring and taking care of our employees, so we appreciate you, and Godspeed to you in your journey. We are going to approve our regular minutes, November 15th, 2022, special meeting for November 30th to 2022. Are there any questions or comments?
So move.
Okay,
Second.
move by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Bailey. Any comments, questions? None? Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2022-251.
Municipal order approving the promotion of Michael Elliott to the position of police captain in the police department.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Meisel?
I'd like to ask Chief Delaney to come up and make his recommendation to fill this position. Chief?
Evening, Mayor, Commissioners. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for the support this last weekend. It was difficult, but the men and women of Bowling Green Police Department proved once again that we're committed and dedicated to the service of this city. And with your support, we made it through another tragic event. And I appreciate all the support that was given to us over the weekend. The mayor was out with boots on the ground. I got multiple texts, multiple phone calls from citizens showing their support. So thank you all. Now to a more festive event, I'd like to ask right now Sergeant Elliott to stand until he gets approved. It's with my pleasure to recommend Sergeant Elliott to the position for promotion tonight to captain. He started with the Bowling Green Police Department in 2009. He's a Greenwood High graduate. He also has a degree in criminology, which he received in 2020. He's been assigned to our training unit since 2016. He's a certified KLEC instructor. He's also a CIT instructor, which is a crisis intervention training instructor. He was part of our first BGLE class, part 1, very instrumental in getting that class up and going. A CRT member since 2011, critical response team. He's a team leader on the CRT team. He's a grenadier and a sniper, a police training officer, a defensive tactics instructor, firearms instructor, and he's on our motor unit. And those are the technical things, just some of them, not to mention his judo skills. But on the personal level, you can't outwork Sergeant Elliott. He has a heart and a passion to serve the citizens of Bowling Green. He works tirelessly every day. You can't outwork him. I've come in on Sundays to try to get things done when nobody's there, and you'll find Sergeant Elliott getting ready for class on Monday. They're behind the scenes making sure everything is done right. So he's got his wife with him tonight and some other family members. If the mayor, if you'd let him introduce his.
Please introduce him, soon-to-be Captain Elliott.
My wife Tracy. This is my oldest son, Joshua. On the end there is my oldest daughter, Anne Marie, and then my middle daughter, Katie, and then my youngest son, Eli.
Hello, everybody.
And
Well,
this is my mother-in-law, Barbara, and this is the head of Bowling Green Judo, the founder of Bowling Green Judo, very close friend of mine, been together probably over 20 years, Clint Brisson.
very nice. Well done, Chief. Great presentation. Commissioners, you ready to make this happen? All right, roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes, congratulations, Captain Elliott. Okay, municipal order number 2022-252. By Bowling Green Finest. Proud of y'all.
Municipal order approving the probationary appointment of Joshua Langlewis to the position of Code Compliance Officer in the Neighborhood and Community Services Department.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
Currently have an opening in our code compliance division. I'd like to ask Lori Gray, our HR manager, to come up and make the recommendation. Lori?
Evening. I would like to recommend the probationary appointment of Joshua Langlios to the Code Compliance Officer. Josh is from the Nashville area. He has previously been a police officer at Metro Nashville Police Department for 8 years, where he was a patrol officer, a domestic violence detective, and gang unit detective. His most recent position was a school resource officer investigator with the Edmonson County Sheriff's Department. Josh is here with us this evening. If he would like to stand, he's back here, yeah. And if you have any other questions.
Thank you, Lori and Josh. I met you earlier. You didn't have the family with you, but you've got a new family tonight, so. All right. Commissioners, roll call.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes, congratulations, Joshua. Municipal order number 2022-253.
Municipal order approving the probationary appointment of Thomas Togstad to the position of landscape gardener in the Parks and Recreation Department.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Carlos Bailey, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
We are in need of a landscape gardener in our Parks and Rec department, and I'd like to ask Tiger to come up and make a recommendation. Tiger?
Good evening again. I would like to recommend the probationary appointment of Thomas Togstad to the landscape gardener position in the golf division of the Parks and Recreation Department. Thomas is here tonight. He's right there. All right. Thomas attended Madison West High School in Wisconsin. He is a graduate from the University of Wisconsin with a bachelor's degree in history. He also has an associate's degree from Madison College in graphic design. Thomas previously has worked as a landscape gardener. He owns his own landscape business where he designs and installs hardscapes, designs and constructs carpentry projects, and manages and installs landscapes. So he's going to bring a unique set of skills to our Parks and Recreation Department in the landscape division, and we are excited to have him.
Great.
Let me know if you have any questions.
Thomas, did you bring anyone with you?
My mother-in-law, Lynn.
Hello.
Hey, Lynn.
Hi.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Tiger. Commissioners? Nothing? Roll call?
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes, congratulations, Thomas. Municipal order number 2022-254.
Municipal order approving the probationary appointment of Kimberly Wilhelm to the position of Office Associate 1 in the Public Works Department.
So moved.
Second.
By Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
Due to a recent resignation in our fleet division in Public Works, we had an opening for an office associate, and I'd like to ask Lori Gray, HR manager, to come back up and make a recommendation for this position. Lori?
I would like to recommend the probationary appointment for Kimberly Wilhelm to the office associate in the fleet department. Kim is originally from California. She's been in the Bowling Green area for about a year. There, she was a property manager, accounts manager for a Wood River Properties for about 16 years, and currently is working for a staffing group here in Bowling Green as an accounts payable billing clerk. And Kim is here with us this evening. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Thank you, Lori. Kim, did you bring anyone with you? I did not. That's okay. Well, welcome to the city. All right. All right, roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown. Hill. Yes. Alcott.
Yes, congratulations, Kimberly. Municipal Order Number 2022-255.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting the purchase of a Taser 7 weapon system from Azon Enterprise, Inc. of Scottsdale, Arizona, in the total amount of $471,929.72 over a 5-year period.
Moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Carlos Bailey, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
So as you all will remember, we did get the grant from the Kentucky Law Enforcement Protection Program for 266, 613, 64, and we would like to use that to cover the first year of to purchase a Taser 7 weapons system, and years 2 through 5 will be roughly $51,329 annually. We'll cover that in the upcoming budgets in the next few years, but tonight we're here to approve the whole purchase of these tasers over the next 5 years. This grant is a unique grant, and it's also sole provider of Axon due to the system that we use. So we are recommending this purchase of the tasers. And Chief is not back up here yet, but we can try to answer questions if there are any.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mizel. Questions, comments? None. Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal Order Number 2022-256.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting bid number 2023-26 for fiscal year 2023 window replacement for the City Hall Annex from Kentucky Mirror and Plate Glass of Bowling Green, Kentucky, in the amount of $64,230.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Carlos Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
This is the second phase or second round of the window replacement over in the city annex. My office used to be over there, and I know the inefficiencies of those windows for many years. So it was very much time to replace them, and so we went out for bid and got one bid from Kentucky Mirror and Plate Glass for $64,230 to finish this project. These are low E coating windows that will cut down on the heat loss and really be more energy efficient for many years to come. Dave Hayner is here with us. Our facilities manager can answer any questions you might have on this project, but this should finish us off.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mizel. Comments, questions? None. Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal Order Number 2022-257.
Municipal order authorizing a change order to the contract with Bushels and Blooms LLC of Franklin, Kentucky for storm damage cleanup related to bid number 2023-06 in the amount of $405,000 for a total project cost not to exceed $605,000.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
If you all will recall, we received some grant money originally from the West Kentucky Safe grant funding from the state. That was House Bill 5, I believe, back in the General Assembly. And so we ran through that $200,000 pretty quick on the debris pickup on private property from the last year's storm. We went and resubmitted another ask from the fund for $400,000, and we were granted this additional money. So we're coming back to you with an amendment to the contract with Bushels and Blooms to go back out and do more debris, stump and tree removal pickup out on private property that's still out there. Thanks to Matt Powell, he's been managing this project, and it's gone very well. And Bushels and Blooms have been a very good partner in assisting private citizens with the removal of tree stumps that are just monsters, that there's no other way to get them out of backyards and hard to reach places. So ask your permission to go ahead and up this contract by $405,000. We had an extra couple $1,000s from another project that we're throwing at this as well. That's why you see the odd $5,000 amount added on, but would like your approval to move ahead and continue with the private property debris stump and tree removal.
Absolutely, wholeheartedly for this, and I understand this is working very well.
One more thing, if there is any money left over, we have gotten permission. We would like to just go ahead and purchase this type of equipment, and we do it in-house going forward. If we get all the requests satisfied and covered, and there's money left over, we have permission to purchase or put the money toward this special equipment that picks this stuff up. It's actually a clearing out tool that would deforest areas like brush, pick up brush, and clean out areas that we would need. So if we don't run through all this money, that's Plan B on the remaining funds. That's in the last paragraph there of the memo. Forgot to mention that.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel.
Thank you.
Commissioners? All right, roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2022-258.
Municipal order authorizing and approving a workforce participation project agreement between the City of Bowling Green, Kentucky, Warren County Fiscal Court, and Crowd South LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Carlos Bailey, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
This is a renewal of the agreement we partnered with the county on last year for workforce participation campaign. This is slightly higher. They're proposing an extra $100,000 for more ads. We are at the point, my understanding is that we are placing somewhere between 85 to 100 people per month from this campaign. And so the county has agreed to go another year with this, and the $400,000 would be split 50-50. It really spreads over 2 fiscal years. So for this current fiscal year 23, we're looking at $100,000, which we have in our budget in the Job Development Incentive Fund. And then we would be looking at the second $100,000 falling in FY24, coming from the same source. This is, the contract before you is the same as it was with just the additional ad money. We've met with Jason Heflin. I sent you some additional information just a couple days ago on more details of the scope and the strategy that they're looking at, but they are going to look at placing ads for the job fairs here locally. That was a very successful venture with the New Americans recently out at the Holy Spirit Catholic Church that they had. And so they're looking at more things like that, and they've got the system built. They're going to do more surveys of the employers to see how they're doing, if they're producing what they need. And so come to you tonight for permission to continue with Crowd South and partnering with the county to help create more workforce to fill the jobs that are out there for us.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mizel. Commissioners? Okay. Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2022-259.
Municipal order approving construction and accepting maintenance of Fox Ridge Court in the Forest Borders subdivision.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Perigin. Mr. Mizel.
This is a commercial development off Russellville Road. Some of you may remember the old Wabaw Steakhouse. It's in that area. The developer is asking us to accept the development. There's a map in your packets. Public Works went out and inspected it, and it met approval. Planning and Zoning has also inspected it, and we are looking at accepting roughly 275 linear feet of roadway and right-of-way associated, and storm sewer as well. There is a drainage basin shown on the map, but they have agreed to maintain that basin privately and as a commercial property. And Melissa Chancellor, our city engineer is here with us tonight, can answer any of your questions that worked on this inspection and acceptance of the subdivision.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Commissioners? Okay, no questions. Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-56 is our first reading, is non-binding.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning a portion of attractive land containing 2 acres from AG Agriculture to RS1A Single Family Residential located at 1740 Greenview Lane, presently owned by Sandra Franklin.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
This was 2 acres in the back of Cherry Hill subdivision, going from ag to RS1A. And it was a unanimous vote with the Planning Commission, and Mr. Peterson is here with us tonight if you have any questions.
Great, thank you, Mr. Mizel. Commissioners? No questions. Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-57 is our first reading, is non-binding.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning attractive land containing 1.55 acres from HB Highway Business and RM2 two-family residential to HB Highway Business located at 802 US 31W Bypass, presently owned by JS and JM LLC, doing business as Economy Inn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Carlos Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
I can't talk, get you familiar with this property. This is the old Economy Inn on the bypass next to Goodwill, 1.5 acres, rezoning from highway business to RM2. And with the general development plan, this was a unanimous vote as well with the Planning Commission. And Ben Peterson is here to answer any questions on this one as well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mizel. Commissioners? No questions this time. Roll call.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-58, first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning attractive land containing 18.19 acres from AG Agriculture to RM3 Townhouse Multifamily Residential located at 0 Russellville Road, presently owned by LHMW Holdings II LLC.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
Another rezoning out Russellville Road, it's, would be on your left going out, 18 acres with frontage to Russellville Road, I believe. This is a agricultural to RM3 development. And this was also a unanimous 6-0 vote with the Planning Commission. Mr. Peterson is here again to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Any questions, comments? None. Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2022-260.
Municipal order approving the reappointments of Joe Natcher and Dr. Martha Sales to serve on the Intermodal Transportation Authority, Inc. Board of Directors and authorizing the submission of reappointments to the Warren County Judge Executive.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Carlos Bailey. This one was 2 individuals that have currently served. I was actually appointed Dr. Sales. Both Joe Natcher and Dr. Sales have been serving admirably, and I've asked them, and they both would like to continue to serve, and I recommend their reapproval. Questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2022-261.
Municipal order authorizing payment to the Warren County Property Valuation Administrator for fiscal year 2023.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Perigin. Mr. Mizel.
In accordance with KRS, we pay the property valuation administrator a fee to get all of our property assessed for our property tax bills. We would not want to take this on ourselves in-house, so we are required to pay them since our assessment is over $6 billion now, $6.4 billion. We are required to pay them the maximum of $100,000 for their services. So we bring this to you tonight to approve the payment to PVA for $100,000 for tax roll and hopefully some other services going forward.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Questions, comments? None? Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-59, first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance amending Code of Ordinances. Ordinance amending Chapter 2, Administration of the City of Bowling Green Code of Ordinances to increase the salary for the mayor.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. I believe,
I'm going to hand this off to Commissioner Perigin or Commissioner Hill, whoever.
Back in 1999, July 1st, the mayor's pay was set at $13,022.83 annually. Obviously, our community has changed greatly since then. There's been some cost of living adjustments, and in light of the recent adjustment to the commissioner's pay, we wanted to take that same percentage and apply it to the mayor's pay. This does not affect the current sitting mayor. This is the next mayor that occupies that seat, and, you know, it very well may be the current mayor. Who knows what a couple years is going to bring? But this will be January 1st, 2025. That's when this will go into effect. So January 1st, 2025. So I'm proud to make adjustments to the mayor's salary. We're the third largest community in the state of Kentucky. This is a very time-consuming and a very important job that's being done, and we want the salary to be commensurate with the work that's being done. So I wholeheartedly recommend this, and Melinda is also a sponsor. Would you like to say anything?
I would just like to say, Mayor and City Manager and all of our city staff, salaries couldn't be high enough for what you all went through this year. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you did tirelessly and with so much professionalism. The whole United States watched you all, and you did a great job. So thank you. And I wish we could do it for you right now, but state law doesn't allow it.
I actually very glad state law does not allow us to give ourselves raises, and commissioners are not allowed to give themselves raises. And our commission made a decision to give the commissioners a raise, and all the commissioners are re-elected. I think that speaks volumes, and I think this effort is ready for the city, and I think there's always the right time to do the right thing, and sometimes it may not go in order with other things that we're trying to do in priority, but it holds us to be accountable to always do the right thing as commissioners, as elected officials, to be able to account for everything we do in making decisions for our city. So again, I don't look at this as a raise for myself. I look at this as right sizing for what this elected position does within the community, and I'm very glad that we right-sized the commission pay that is going into effect 1 January, and my personal opinion is y'all have earned it well.
I'd like to add that I absolutely wish we could also give this to you. As the chief mentioned, you just tirelessly give your time to our community, and there's so many occasions where it would not be appropriate for 5 people to be showing up in a place. So that means you are taking on that responsibility for all of us, and you're here signing the huge stack of documents that we vote on, and that takes you a long time. And I know you put your heart and soul into this, and just the time that the mayorship does, even a city manager form of government, the extra time that you take as leading us. I'm really excited the opportunity that, if not you, that at least future mayors, we have a more appropriate salary for the amount of time and effort and sacrifice and service that this position gives our citizens. And I just want to take this opportunity to just thank you for your work.
Thank you. Okay, roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-60, our first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance amending Code of Ordinances. Ordinance amending Chapter 2 Administration of the City of Bowling Green Code of Ordinances related to revisions to the Police and Firefighters Retirement Fund and other administrative changes.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Carlos Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
This is an administrative cleanup, more or less, of Chapter 2. Mayor and Katie Schaller Ward, our Assistant City Manager, CFO, serve on this board, and this is our closed Police and Fire Retirement Fund that was started back in 1988, and we still have some remaining members in this fund, but we unfortunately we have lost our former police retired members, and all that's left is their dependents, which are not allowed to serve on this board. So we've had to make some adjustments, and this is to reflect the adjustments that have been made to that board that Katie and the mayor still serve on. And hopefully, if I've explained that, what this is about, it's nothing but clean up and reflect that we're just following KRS 95.869 now, which governs who can be represented on that board.
One question I have is, does this body still have the capacity to appoint those board members, or is that relieved from this motion over, or this rewritten?
No, it'll still.
So it's still, the participants on the retirement side are still nominated by that group themselves. So our Board of Commissioners does not make those appointments.
But with the ex officio position?
We would still remain, yes. So the ex officio positions, the mayor, chief financial officer would still remain on the board.
Yeah, that's in the KRS.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? None. Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. All right. Ordinance BG 2022-61, first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance amending Code of Ordinances. Ordinance amending Chapter 17 Personnel Policies of the City of Bowling Green Code of Ordinances related to employees participating in the county employees retirement system.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Carlos Bailey, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
I have spoken with each one of you all one-on-one on this topic. This is the age 57 rule, as we commonly call it. We are the only city in Kentucky that still has a mandatory retirement for our police and fire fighters at age 57. We have established fitness programs that are working effectively. Both chiefs have put them into place since coming on board as in their positions. We believe this will help with retention and keep experienced officers that are needed due to the workforce challenges we're facing today in today's times. And so both chiefs did their own surveys and communicated with their departments. And everyone, majority or super majority, most likely, or pretty much everybody was in favor of making this change to allow officers to work past age 57. And they put in a consistent and fair evaluation for fit for duty that goes all the way up to the chief level. So. Chief Delaney's here in the room, can answer any questions on this, but he's worked with Chief Brooks, and we feel this is a necessary change that we need to make to our policy and want to move forward.
Absolutely. The life age of the normal person's growing. Social Security's moved up to 67. What our firefighters and the physicality they do on their job, but they've proven that they can handle 57, even probably beyond. So amazed at their fitness and amazed at their capability, and I think this concurs with what we should do for them and be able to continue to serve, because you can't replace them.
Also agree. I think that 57 is no longer 57. physicality and fit is no longer what physicality and fit was like years ago. Today, 57 is young. It doesn't look like how it was when our grandparents were alive. So now you're more physical. I know that our generation, the generation after us, 57, I know I hate to say it, but the 57 is going to be the next 40 or 30 and stuff, because they're going to be a lot more healthier. And there's a lot of officers, even there's a lot of people just in general who are in their 50s and in great shape. So,
You're looking at one in the back of the room back there.
oh, I know.
You don't want to
Yeah.
mess with him, so.
I know.
But that's the thing is, both chiefs and deputy chiefs are setting the example for taking care of themselves, staying fit, and setting good examples for the rest of the department, leading by example.
All right, further questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2022-262.
Back up one more.
Did I move? I
Yes.
went too fast. Ordinance number BG 2022-62, first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance annexing property by consent. Ordinance annexing 300.05 acres of a portion of properties located on Freeport Road, presently owned by the Intermodal Transportation Authority, Inc., with said territory being contiguous to existing city limits.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Carlos Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
This is a volunteer request from the ITA to annex these 300 acres on Freeport Road. I believe most of this acreage is going to be the new home of Envision. And so I'd like to thank Brent Childers, who's with us, for working on this annexation with them. And he's here, can answer any questions you might have on this.
Okay. Any questions, comments? None? Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2022-262.
Municipal order authorizing and approving the City of Bowling Green to approve or to appropriate American Rescue Plan Act funding in the amount of $2 million, and further approving a memorandum of agreement between the City of Bowling Green and the Salvation Army.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Carlos Bailey. I am very excited to announce this endeavor. I go back to our first strategic meeting that we had in 2021 as Board of Commissions, that we put this as a priority to how best we could assist in helping out what we see happening, which is homelessness in our community, and the growing homelessness is systemic across our nation. And there's been many meetings. We had several working sessions working together. We've continued this in our last strategic meeting, and this is part of our strategic plan. And we've had American Rescue Plan Act dollars that have come to our city, and we have the opportunity to utilize some of that to invest in what we believe, or what we could believe could be a partnership of nonprofits that are doing amazing work in our community to help and to increase the amount of help that is going out into our community for those struggling on many issues. What we have now is an opportunity, and I'm very proud of this, what I call a memorandum of agreement. We have an amazing attorney, Hillary Hightower, which has expertise in the memorandum of agreement, and she has put together, I think, an amazing document. And what it does is it holds this agreement accountable. This enables us to invest these dollars, $2 million, $1 million into a renovation, $1 million into being able to maintain and operate the collaborative effort. And these are services that will give the purpose of helping homeless people experiencing homelessness, housing insecurity, food insecurity, including hygiene, meals, lockers, mail, transportation, laundry services, as well as case management services to include, but not limited to, assistance with referrals for health and mental health care, job training, placement, housing, education, governmental benefit programs, drug rehabilitation, legal aid, transportation, and other social services designed to assist those in need of stability to become self-efficient. I understand this is a one-and-done investment from the city. However, Hillary Hightower, Jeff Meisel, and I were able to go to a opioid settlement abatement that Attorney General Daniel Cameron is, and there is over $60 million, and I believe this effort could help receive and get funds to help people through working through drug issues and working through drug rehabilitation, and those monies are designated towards community efforts to help people. And so this is one of those efforts that I think could capitalize on that effort, and that's money that could help this endeavor for the next 16 years. I have a few people I'd like to thank. One of the ideas of a collaborative initiative is a person sitting in this room right now, and that was a police officer that worked for our city, now is working for Life Skills, is Melanie Watts. Wave, Melanie. So this idea of we need a place, and she told me we need a place and we need to find a place. This place isn't the greatest. It needs work, it needs help. However, it has a tie to the city that goes back almost 50 years ago. And that effort was to help the welfare of the community, and this is assisting. We have another individual in this room, and that's Chris Head. And Chris Head is sort of a spearhead to understand how this initiative with helping homelessness and helping bring together collaborative initiatives, and he's come from Louisville and has come back and forth to the city many times to bring this more together. He's sitting here with Captain Hortons, and the Hortons are here as well. And they have been able to work with other nonprofits like Room in the Inn. We have 2 entities within the city that give overnight shelter help to homelessness into the community, and that's Room in the Inn and that's Salvation Army. And this is going to help increase their ability to take care of people. In the MOA, there's one more thing that I think is helpful, and this is that 25% on the million that goes towards operational cost is to help the programs for facilities or the nonprofits that are willing to work with the collaborative initiative. And this initiative has a new name. We're going to announce it tonight. It's not the BG Collaborative House. Henceforward, if we approve this, it's called the Life Nav Collaborative Center. I'm very proud of this effort. I don't think it's a one and done. I think it's a seed that's going to continue to grow for our community. And this could be the time that we look back to what is the pivotal difference that Bowling Green did that other communities did not do, and that's bringing together our nonprofits to work hand in hand with each other to solve our community solutions. And so with that, I'll concede and I'll allow the commissioners to make comments, questions at this time.
I want to thank you, Mayor, for your incredible positive leadership in this effort. And you said you were going to do something, and you did, and you got us all on board. And I think this is going to make a huge impact in our community to folks that, you know, that are vulnerable. They're suffering. And so I really want to especially thank you for your leadership in bringing us along to this place. And I agree with this, you know, $2 million is a whole lot of money. I'd like to see it in my account for sure, but it's not enough, and it's not enough. Melanie and I had that conversation. There are other pockets of money out there. There's grants and everything else, and then the new opioid monies that are coming that you know will serve us well to keep this thing going, moving on into the indefinite future. So thank you very much for what you've done.
I want to thank you too, Mayor, but it's something that I know at least a few of us ran on in 2018 and 2020 when we wanted to have something done. And it wasn't even last time when we were here that we were against it, because I think at least 3 of us ran on it in our first election. I, for one, I'm just speaking for myself, wanted to do more because I knew that the ARPA money was one of those once-in-a-lifetime things. However, You know, I'm also an attorney, and also sometimes as an attorneys, we know that working together is always better, and doing something is always better than doing nothing. And it's weird that the mayor says seed, because that's actually what I wrote down earlier, that it's setting a seed or setting a foundation for the future. And even though I know it's supposed to be a one and done, I'm hoping that it's not a one and done. I know that, at least from not the city, but whenever we can help out, let's try to help out, because having multiple organizations is gonna help many people out. You guys have life skills that was here the last time. And I know, speaking with Mr. Head and also speaking with other members, sometimes Salvation Army and other members can't deal with somebody if they're having a mental health crisis. So having all these organizations in one location to make sure you're dealing with someone that's having an issue that calls them to be homeless is a great thing. So it's one of those things that I wish we could have used a little bit more ARPA money, but I also understand this sets a foundation and a seed that can basically look forward to for the future, long after this board is gone. And that's a great thing for our community.
I also want to thank the mayor for his leadership at this exciting opportunity to work collaboratively together. Should not have tried to say that word. Not everyone may know that during the day, my full-time job is as a family resource coordinator at a local school. And so that means every day I am walking through a journey with families with kids that are experiencing homelessness. And that is a difficult load to carry, knowing that we don't have adequate resources for families who are experiencing this crisis and how that affects children and families. And so I am so grateful that this board was able to come together and to help increase our community's support for our citizens who are experiencing this. So part of what I do is guiding them through the process, and I'm so excited about this space where instead of going to all the different million places you have to go through to get each little piece together, that we have one place that hopefully everyone will come together and provide services so that, because the gas that it takes to get to all these places, the time, they're already stressed about every little penny. And so this will be such an important way that we are having a trauma-informed wraparound services for families and citizens experiencing homelessness. And so I too wish we could have put more ARPA money towards it. I know this will just get us started and it'll take more to keep us going. But I hope this is the beginning of lots more to come of the city investing and partnering with our local nonprofits who are doing amazing, amazing work. And I heard all of you when you talked about the gaps and what we need to be able to, what you're missing in terms of moving them into a self-sufficiency and to thrive. Is that transitional housing and affordable housing, and so I'll keep on fighting for those things as long as I'm here.
Thank you very much, commissioners. All right, without further ado, roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. All right. Municipal order number 2022-263.
Municipal order authorizing and approving the City of Bowling Green to appropriate American Rescue Plan Act funding in the amount of $2 million to the Neighborhood and Community Services Department for an affordable housing project.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Bailey, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown.
Defer to Commissioner Perigin.
Thank you. Yeah, we're starting a theme here with ARPA funding, and proud to be able to do it and make such an impact in our community in so many different ways with this ARPA funding. We're allotting if it's approved, $2 million to Brent Childers' organization, the Neighborhood and Community Services Program. And I would like to ask Brent to maybe describe to the general public what your vision is with this funding and how it's going to impact affordable housing for our community.
Commissioner.
Thank you, Brent.
What I would say is similar to my comments before, that we would look for partners. We do not build housing we make investments in housing. So we would go through the process of finding partners that could assist us in providing those affordable housing units, those new units into the marketplace. And so that would be through a traditional RFP process, and see what projects are out there that we could partner with a firm, an organization that is looking to develop and invest. So this $2 million that you all are talking about, is the real goal of that is for that to partner with millions of other dollars to make that go further. So our goal is to always leverage those funds and to get the most units that we can for the least amount of money. So any other questions from the commission?
Thank you, Mr. Childers.
Thank you, Brent, for doing that, and look forward to seeing what this seed, this is again, what I consider seed money. It's getting started money. So we got to start somewhere, and here we are. Thank you.
I'd just like to add that it's not official. However, we know that through the Kentucky Rescue Act that happened with the storm, and that right now they're looking and putting more dollars into affordable housing. And so what we don't know is specifics on how and what, but I do know that they are negotiating with our city management, including Mr. Childers, and there is a significant amount of money in that, and 80% goes to the 4 most significant affected counties through the storm. Warren County is one of those significantly most affected. So 80% of that, and if you look, I believe that fund was around $70 million. And so I'm not going to speculate on how much we can get or couldn't get. However, there is going to be significant more funding coming to what we believe will be affordable housing. And so that could be a secondary direct line to giving, we're putting the money now into the block grant development program that can be accessed by our nonprofits that are building affordable housing within this community. So this is a first step. I do believe there's more funds coming, and I do believe, and personally, I'm after those. I mean, if that's what they're designated for, I want Bowling Green, and I believe we want Bowling Green to get our fair cut of those dollars.
I'm with the mayor on that. I'm hoping that, we can get a fair shot. But when I was growing up, we used to have like this old saying, like, the only thing that I hope and pray that we can get at that money. And the reason why I wanted the ARPA money now, because, when I was growing up, my mother and my brother-in-law and them used to say, like, a bird in the hand is always better than 2 in the bush. So I saw the ARPA as the bird in the hand. And I know, like, this kind of goes hand in hand. I believe Wade from Rooms in the End the last time said we have to have people to be able to go somewhere. But as the other commissioners have said, and as the mayor has said today, I do know that this is a seed. And that's the one thing that we're trying to help. And even as Mr. Childers basically said, we're trying to find partners. Right now, people are hurting like for the rent, and they're hurting just to buy homes because we know, the rent is going up, and we know like the homes that were costing $250,000 last year is actually costing close to over $300,000 this year. It's no longer at 3%. I believe it's at 7 to 9%, and those homes are going up quite a bit. And affordable housing, a lot of people say, well, what is affordable housing? And is it affordable housing to me? Affordable housing is no more than 30% of your own income. That's what it is. But I would just want to make sure, like the mayor has said, that it works for everybody that chooses to call Bowling Green home. If they need help in homelessness, we try to help them out, but then we got to also have a plan for where do they go after we try to rehabilitate it. I think that's an investment back into our city. So I'm all for this, and I wanted more, but I'm also understanding that this seed is a good thing. It's better to do something than nothing.
I'll follow up with Commissioner Bailey. I also had hoped we would be able to put more ARPA funds in it, but I'm hoping this is a ball starting to roll down the hill, and we're going to add more of that grant funds we talked about, and this is starting of a really good thing. Those of us in direct service work, we like to say that our goal is to work ourselves out of a job. And we want, and this is this money right here around building this affordable housing. It's this piece that goes from being stuck in the homeless shelter month after month, being stuck in a hotel. It's this piece of how do you then, you've got your full-time job, you've got your childcare, you've got the food, but how do you get into a place that you can afford and to support your family and get out of that really difficult time into, a good place to raise your kids and to live a good life. And this is such an important piece of this stepping out of this crisis into being able to have a stable home. And so I'm really excited that in a unified voice, this commission is saying we're taking this affordable housing crisis seriously, and we're going to put our money where our mouth is, and we're going to make sure we're working with partners, developers, nonprofits who are going to help build this ladder to stability for families experiencing homelessness and who are at risk of homelessness because their housing is unaffordable. So I'm really excited that we're finally getting to vote and put this money here, and I'm excited for things to come, and excited to see what Brent and the nonprofits are going to be able to do in terms of helping to increase that supply of housing that our workforce can afford to live in and raise a family.
All right, thank you again, commissioners. I believe we're on the effort of a tree that can grow from the seed, and look forward to the real work that's about to happen from both these efforts. All right, roll call.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal Order Number 2022-264.
Municipal order authorizing and approving the City of Bowling Green to use the standard allowance for the local fiscal recovery fund as authorized by the American Rescue Plan Act in the amount of $10 million designated to assist with the construction of the Public Safety Training Center.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. I believe we have a commissioner presenting this.
I'm going to yield the floor to Commissioner Hill.
Thank you, Mr. Meisel. And I can for sure this time say the last is not the least this time, because this is our final vote for our ARPA funds. I am glad we're finally at this point, and I appreciate all the commissioners working together for this. As you heard in the other municipal orders, there are other pots of money for those projects. We have not found other pots of money for our public safety center. So this $10 million that we're applying to it will help the City of Bowling Green build this, hopefully debt-free. Citizens hopefully will appreciate that, as they know interest rates continue to rise. That's just not for us individually, that's for the City of Bowling Green as well. So by taking this $10 million, and that was the max that we could take for this project with our ARPA funds, it'll allow us to build this project debt-free and help our citizens as well with moving our city forward. So I'm thankful for this opportunity and think it's a great way to use these funds that we lost during this time period. So I appreciate us recouping those funds and putting them to a project that will allow us to continue to have the best firefighters and best police officers, because it will provide a great training facility for them.
I'd just like to add that the new training center, it does multiple things for our community. One, it takes one of our oldest and firehouses, and it needs to be replaced desperately, and this is out at Porter Pike. The second thing it does is it enables us to have our own academies for police and fire. We have our own police academies now, but they're inherent, or they're within our own facilities. It's very difficult to hire the amount of people that we need successfully for our police force and run them to the academy. We've been averaging about 11, 12, and that's about our peak capacity. We can over double that amount that goes through our academy. And so this will be a police and fire academy jointly. And the third, this will be a secondary emergency operations center. So it's adding a piece of the puzzle that we need desperately. We saw that Mayfield was wiped out. We were lucky that our city facilities, our structure was able to remain intact. However, Had that not happened, I mean, the sheriff, the state police, the governor, we all utilized our one facility, and that was in our Bowling Green Police Headquarters, and it worked well. But this is a secondary emergency operations center for our entire county to be able to utilize. So these are very important endeavors. The cost of construction has gone up, the cost of materials, and to be able to get materials, the cost of labor, all that has gone up. Our goal, and one of my goal, and I know several city commissioners have stated, our goal is to not raise taxes, if all possible. This endeavor gives us that greatest capability. If we do not put these monies back towards this facility, it will be very difficult to do, as Commissioner Hill stating, to not incur enormous amount of debt or to go after new taxes. And so this is an opportunity for us to invest wisely in things that our community need. And that's what the last 3 items have been. Things that we understand that not going to solve themselves on their own without leadership and without our ability to invest. And this was a once-in-a-life opportunity, just like Carlos stated. And we're all making, commissions. We're all, negotiating with each other and working as a council. And the elected people put us back here to work together. And I look forward to. A few minutes ago, before we started this commission, I got to see the 4 of you swear in by Judge Wilson, Steve Wilson, and you swear in. I look forward to the next 2 years. The last 2 years have been incredible. We worked well with each other as professionals. We have professionals that tee up things and take care of our city on a daily basis. And this is also not just us. This is, as commissioners making a decision, this is listening to our city leadership to try to advise us financially on how to make the best investments into our future. And we're listening, and working well with each other.
Chief Delaney, since you're here, I would love it if you could just tell the public a little bit about our academy, this is a unique thing that we have, and how this will help continue to improve the quality of the training we provide our officers, and kind of the vision for it from your perspective.
The vision is to be leaders, and we've proven that we had to take a different approach to the workforce crisis that everybody across the country is facing, not only in police, but across the country in every profession. So we went after being able to do our own academy, and we're approved to do our own academy. We didn't ask for any other facilities. We've been doing it in-house, using other facilities to try to make the best of what we had. And that's what we've been doing for the last couple of years, is just making the best of what we had to get by, to get people in, to find officers, to get out on the street to serve the public. And as we grew, we decided we can't keep up going one academy class a year. So we decided to do 2 with the same amount of facilities, the same amount of people, which put even more of a burden on our structure and our facilities at the police department. So this facility will give us the opportunity to really have the space that we need to get more people in, to train more people, to have the adequate space, the classroom, officers there to train, the facilities to do better training. We're doing good training now. We're doing great things with our training academy, but this will excel us, and we'll be the leaders of the state by doing this.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited about this. We've been working on this for quite a while. I was trying to remember the timeline with Katie earlier, how long ago at the strategic planning session in January of 21, where we looked at the proposal and then the land and moving of the power lines and getting architects ready to go. And so I'm excited that this will help speed up our the stream of having this training facility to support BGLA and the fire department training center as well. And right, because safety is the foundation of a thriving city. And if we don't feel safe, it's really hard to do anything on top of that. And you all do so much work day in and day out to keep us safe. And I'm just so excited that we're going to see this vision that we've been working on so hard over the last few years come to fruition at hopefully a faster pace. And I think Katie mentioned maybe in 2 years we could see it completed, possibly. So
We hope sooner.
Okay.
But certainly we are in the same boat as everyone else with the supply chain and contracting prices and all of that. So very shortly, we hope to get some bids out for the Transpark Fire Station. And then following that, probably after the first of the year, we would get the bids out for the training center and the Northside Fire Station construction projects. So these will take 12 to 18 to 24 months in getting these completed and furnished and ready to go. And we've got a lot of, particularly at the training center being our backup emergency operations center and backup dispatch, there's going to be a lot of technology and infrastructure that's going to have to be applied to it. But we are certainly hoping that we can get these operational within the next 2 years. So we have been doing the architectural design since fiscal year 22. We're now in fiscal year 23, so we are really ready to move forward with these projects. So I thank you very much for your support in providing the funding that we need to get these projects moving.
And I want to thank Jeff and Katie for y'all. Part of this, the purpose of the ARPA funds was to make sure that as a city, we thought about how does this make sure that throughout of the pandemic, how are we setting ourselves up on a good, strong financial foundation, and make sure that we are taking good care of these taxpayer dollars and setting us up for a good financial health moving forward. And I know that is the heart of this proposal. So thank you all both for thinking through the ways that we can make sure that we are coming out of the pandemic and being strong financially. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I have to say, when the academy, the local academy was first proposed, that day it was going to be proposed on a Tuesday night. It was during my time in Frankfurt as Chief of Staff of the Finance Cabinet. And I happened to be with the Deputy Secretary of the Justice Cabinet the day you all were going to vote on this. And he goes, what in the world is going on with Bowling Green? Why are they doing this? We don't want them to leave our academy. So I had to make a call to then Mayor Wilkerson. I'm like, what are y'all doing? You're killing me here in Frankfurt. They're so mad at me. And he explained, and since I've learned, I don't think our citizens realize what a benefit this is to our new recruits. They don't have to leave our families for how many weeks?
23 weeks to go to Richmond.
They had to leave and be away from their families for that long. Now they are trained to what the Bowling Green Police Department wants to be, what they want our officers to be, instead of the state standard. Ours are held to the highest accountability, so thank you so much for seeing this through. It's a great asset to our community.
Thank you all for your support.
Chief, just one last thing. I agree with Commissioner Hill. I know I've spoken to a couple of officers, sometimes just day-to-day aspect. Just being able to stay home with their families is a huge thing, especially for recruitment. But can you explain to the public, kind of like what the mayor kind of touched on, about how this second facility can help out with emergency management, especially with some of the issues that have been going on in Bowling Green, Kentucky within the last year or so?
It'd just be a secondary emergency operating center, and the mayor spoke on it briefly. During the tornado, we used the Bowling Green Police Department as the EOC for the county, the governor. All the meetings were held there, and all the planning sessions were held there, and it was tight. But we got through it. This will be a larger facility, and hopefully we don't have another natural disaster like that. But in case we do, this building will also be fortified for, you want to speak on that? Go ahead.
I'll take the blame. The cost probably went up on this thing with, but I thought after December 11th, we needed a more fortified 911 center in case of what just happened. And so what we're proposing to build, what's being designed is what they call ICF, and it's basically foam and concrete, and it's built to withstand 250-mile-an-hour winds, which if we ever have a storm with 250-mile-an-hour winds in Bowling Green, we're all in big trouble anyway. So we feel that was, while we're into this, let's build it for the future. And let's go the extra mile, and where we have a safe space where we can stay up and running in the next storm, or, God forbid it hits 9/11 Kentucky. But that's what we're planning for, as the chief mentioned.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you all.
Thanks again, Commissioners. All right. No further questions, comment? Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill. Yes. Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-52. This is our second reading and is binding.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning a tract of land containing 8.96 acres from RM2 two-family residential and RM3 townhouse multifamily residential to RM3 townhouse multifamily residential located at the southeast corner of Fields Drive and Jefferson Court, presently owned by M.A. Williams Properties.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. This was a 5-0 from our Board of Commission vote last time. Any questions or comments? None. Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-53, second readings binding.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning a tract of land containing 3.3816 acres from AG Agriculture to GB General Business located at 0 Russellville Road, presently owned by Beanie R. Sony.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Carlos Bailey. This was also a 5-0 from our Board of Commissioners. Any further questions or comments? None. Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-54, second reading binding.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning a portion of a tract of land containing 10.50 acres from AG Agriculture and RM3 townhouse multifamily residential to RM4 multifamily residential located at the northeast corner intersection of Southwest Parkway and Kobe Way, presently owned by SMP Properties LLC and Weston Apartments LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. This was also a 5-0 by our Board of Commissioners. Any further questions or comments? None. Roll call.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2022-55, our second readings binding.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning a tract of land containing 2.29 acres from AG Agriculture and RE Residential Estate to HI Heavy Industrial located at 0 Fred Madison Road, presently owned by the Intermodal Transportation Authority, Inc.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. This is a 5-0 from our last Board of Commissioners. Any further questions or comments? None. Roll call, please.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Mrs. Jackson, will you please check to see if we have any public comments at this time? Our next scheduled meeting will be December 20th, 2022. It will be our last meeting of the year. All right, Jennifer, you would like come up to the podium?
I want to say thank you for doing something for the homeless using Salvation Army. That was a good move, and you are doing such a good job. But we do need to figure out why the landlords want to raise the rent. We need to figure out how to stop them. Like either get special funding to get the difference, or give more money to Salvation Army so they can pay the rent when it's behind. And there is some program that helps people pay the rent. And I don't know what it's called, but you can research it and find out. But there is some, and then Salvation Army gave me a job when nobody was going to hire me. And they gave me a job. So they really do need the funding. Okay, now the church, there's a church on the, couple blocks down the street, about a block down. They help the homeless too. So if you want to help them too, they wasn't at the meeting. Okay, so that's strange, Mayor. You're slipping.
I'm slipping. All right.
So, they wasn't at the meeting, but I can give you the contact information and I can give you the phone number for the pastor's wife and you can talk to them. So if we help Salvation Army and help that church that's helping the homeless, We can battle homelessness,
Thank you
and
very
we can
much.
win.
Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, well, this concludes our meeting, and Happy New Year, everybody, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Captain Johnny Horton.
I'll be very fast. I just want to thank the mayor for his leadership in this endeavor and for the city commissioners for their faith and confidence and fidelity in the Salvation Army, and to Hillary for doing all the legwork. And I know homelessness was mentioned a lot. This isn't just for homeless. This is for anyone who's living paycheck to paycheck who experience any sort of crisis is allowed to come. There's no litmus test to be there. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Captain Horton. All right. Thank you, everybody. Happy New Year and Happy Holidays. We're adjourned. Oh, sorry.
Well, we've got another December meeting, Mayor, so. December 20th. Just want to make sure. Don't go anywhere.
I will never get this right. I did say that, didn't I?
You did, but you just said, like.
I just said happy.
You could still say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or.
We're adjourned.